and Derek Carr completely crapped the bed and lost the game for them. Finally, proving that Derek Carr is not as good as everyone says. He's not a top 10 quarterback. I recently found out the Denver Broncos hired Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett to be their next head coach. But come on, kick the field goal, take the point. Win the game.
No, you have to act.
See you all. Welcome to Ruffing the Pasture, show where I talk football, miscellaneous stuff, and mostly football. I'm your host, Sam Ruffing. And over the last 3 or so years, I've had to listen to sports commentators around the globe say that Derek Carr is an underrated quarterback. And, this is his year because he led the Raiders to the playoffs last year in the most bizarre, weird circumstances ever. And, he's a good quarterback. See, it proved it. The Raiders have been all that, and they like to make tons of excuses. Well, yesterday, the Raiders went into LA to face their rival Chargers, a team they beat last year to make the playoffs. And Derek Carr completely crapped the bed and lost the game for them. Finally, proving that Derek Carr is not as good as everyone says. He's not a top 10 quarterback. And boy, the excuses just stopped, I'm sure. Everyone's been saying over the last however many years, since 2018, I guess, oh, Derek Carr's had a terrible defense. Well, yes, he has had a bad defense. I'll give you that. Except for last year when, the Raiders didn't have necessarily the worst defense in the world, or the start of this season where they faced the Chargers and didn't have a bad defense. They played pretty well. And the Chargers themselves were shooting themselves in the foot by going for it on 4th down for some weird reason again. And missing a field goal. Oh, but no, Derek Carr has just never had the weapons. Well, he's got the weapons now. He's still got Josh Jacobs, who's a good running back. He's got Darren Waller. He's got Hunter Renfrow, and now he's got Davante Adams. He had all those guys. And guess what? He threw 3 interceptions. He played well with Davante Adams and still lost. He was underthrowing. He underthrew Darren Waller on an interception. He underthrew Davante Adams on an interception. On another one, he just threw it straight to a defender. Oh, no, but Derek Carr is top 10. Look at his stats. Well, yeah, stats are great. Except for the fact Derek Carr has not won a division, has not won a playoff game at all. Now, Matt Stafford in Detroit didn't win a playoff game or division, and his stats were padded. But for those, we're not necessarily all, Matt Stafford's fault. 2014, I mean, for goodness sake, that's a pass interference call against the Cowboys that was picked up for some unknown reason when it is blatant pass interference. And another thing about the weapons. Oh, I'll get back to weapons real quick. But after that, I'll get to weapons after this. Derek Carr, on the other hand, has gone to the playoffs once in his last however many seasons, since 2014. He did lead them to a 2016, but he didn't play due to an injury. And he faced off against the Cincinnati Bengals. He had them on the ropes. He had the ball late. He could have won the game. But on 4th down, 4th and goal, he threw an interception. And, a clutch quarterback in that situation wouldn't do that. He would throw a touchdown and win the game and beat Cincinnati. Did he do that? No. Matt Stafford against Cincinnati needs a touchdown? Oh, yeah, he won the Super Bowl against them. When there's less pressure than a wild card game. And another thing about the weapons. He's got all these weapons. He's got Davante Adams. He's got, as I've already said. And he's still lost. and threw three interceptions. Joe Burrow had all those weapons and still nearly beat the Steelers, and should have beat the Steelers, but his kicker missed an extra point at the end. Baker Mayfield, without nearly as great weapons in Carolina, almost beat the Browns. He had a perfect pass rating in the fourth quarter, didn't throw two interceptions in that fourth quarter, and he would have won had the refs not made a ridiculous call against the Carolina Panthers, which didn't even look close to roughing the passer. Because I am so much more handsome. Anyways. Once again, Derek Carr had the ball late against the Los Angeles Chargers. He had a chance to win it. Well, actually, multiple chances. And what did he do with those? He threw an interception on a deep pass to Davante Adams. He failed a 2-point conversion. And he threw another interception right to Bryce Callahan. But he had the ball late, and he had one final drive to score a touchdown. And guess what? He couldn't convert on a 4th and 8, and failed the game, and lost the game for the Raiders. And don't give me it's the Josh McDaniels. I know Josh McDaniels is a bad coach, but goodness sake, Baker has Matt Rule. He still won a playoff game. Baker almost beat the Browns. Derek Carr in this division isn't anywhere close to the top quarterbacks. He's nowhere near Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, or Patrick Mahomes, and yet he's treated like he's a top 10 quarterback when he's not even as good as Baker Mayfield. This has been Roughing the Passer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and share this with your friends and family. If you like more of my content, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.